Wow. Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of UPK. Started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yana. I'm not the Zop Officer of 500. Today is Tuesday of Brotherhood class. And obviously, we're going to get into what does it mean to have brotherhood? You know what I'm saying? And is the Christian church teaching black people how to have brotherhood? Is Black Lives Matter teaching black people, Hispanic and Native American Indian people how to have brotherhood? You know what I'm saying? The answer to that is no, they're not teaching you how to have brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? And for black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians not having brotherhood, we're in a predicament to where we in America and we at the bottom of the totem pole, we slaves. And that's for not having brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? We got kicked out of our homeland for not having brotherhood. We start worshiping other gods because we lack brotherhood. We discontinue from our heritage because we lack brotherhood. So this is one of the key points on something that's pivotal in our community that we lacking, and that ISUPK under Commander General Yana is bringing back to our community. You know what I'm saying? And bringing back not just to our community, but our whole nation as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Before ISUPK, before the men came in here and learned how to be real men, we didn't have brotherhood. We didn't have brotherhood like how we thought we had brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? We thought brotherhood was, man, I ain't got no money for no weed today. My partner finna pull up and smoke with me. That's my nigga. That's brotherhood. That's not brotherhood. We thought that brotherhood was, oh man, a female talk about me on Facebook, I'm finna pull up with my gang of females and we gonna fight each other. And none of that is brotherhood. Getting shot for a street that you don't own is not brotherhood. You understand? Sleeping with your woman, sleeping with your so-called brother's wife, that's not brotherhood. You understand? So these some of the things that we gotta understand and stop doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's making our community. You selling your friend mom dope is not brotherhood. And even though y'all from the same gang, went to the same school, and you know what I'm saying, y'all grew with each other, that's not brotherhood. So we gonna get into these scriptures and we gonna show you what actual brotherhood is according to these scriptures, not according to what I think brotherhood is. So my first scriptures I'm gonna get is 1 John 4 and 20. 1 John chapter 4 verse 20. If a man say I love God and hated his brother, he is a liar. You know what I'm saying? If you say, because you know Christians, they say that all the time. They always say, man, we love God. You know what I'm saying? Especially women, they down there act like they sleeping with Christ. They act like they sleep with God, like they in a relationship with him. You know what I'm saying? So it said, if a man say I love God and hate his brother, he is a liar. You know what I'm saying? If you say you love God, but you hate your brother, you a liar. And this is why. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly why. How can you love God? You ain't never seen God. But you hate your brother and you see him every day. You understand? And what are some of the things to show and prove that you hate your brother? Selling them drugs, whether it's weed, crack, heroin, coke, whatever it is, Xanax, Percocets. You know what I'm saying? If you selling your brother these things, and when I say brotherhood, I'm also talking about sisterhood, because sisterhood and brotherhood is synonymous. It's the same thing. So, that's an example of what not having brotherhood is. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that you love the Most High, but then you hate your brother and your sister who you see every day. You a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? You're not of the Lord at all. And that's not what Christ, that's not the example that Christ made. That's not an example of none of these brothers and these sisters in this Bible. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good example. So you can't sell dope and then go to church and pay your tithes to this pimp pastor and think that, you know what I'm saying, man, I love my people, man. I go to church. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to church and then as soon as you get in the lobby, you got a pork chop in your pocket. You can't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? That's not having brotherhood. So I'm gonna read that again. If a man say I love God and hate his brother, he is a liar. You can't say that you love God and you hate your brother. That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? You see him every day, but because he been owing you $20 for a couple weeks, you like, man, to hell with him. I ain't got nothing to say to him. That nigga owe me $20. You know what I'm saying? That is ridiculous. But then you turn around and say that you love God. And it's like, really on some real shit, it's like on some real stuff, who do you really think you is by doing that? You understand? Because first off, Christ forgave everybody. You're like, Christ, first off, what you gotta understand about Christ? Christ didn't die for what you do. He died for what you did. Meaning that once you come to the realization that Christ died for you, you know what I'm saying, and you change your ways and you repent means to turn away from. Once you turn away from whatever wicked act that you was doing, you know what I'm saying, Christ died for that. He died for you repenting and changing your ways. You can't look at your brother and get mad at him because he owe you $20 or you feel like he looked at you a certain way or he stepped on your shoe or he sold your mama dope and then you don't want to forgive him. You too good to forgive him. Who you think you is? Christ forgave you and you did everything wicked up under the sun. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to come back to having brotherhood, man. Because like I said, this is one of the main things. Like if we have brotherhood, we would never be slaves to these so-called oppressors. We would never be slaves to them. You know what I'm saying? We have brotherhood. When they put dope in our community, if we really have brotherhood like we thought, and we wasn't worried about, but this is the thing. When you only worried about surviving, that's why you gotta understand the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because he know that when you only thinking about surviving, you know what I'm saying, you only thing that's going to your head is self-preservation. So you're gonna do whatever you gotta do to make sure you and your family live or you live. You know what I'm saying? When it shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? You should be willing to give your life to your brother. When they put dope in our community, we should have been like, you know what, man, we ain't selling this dope. You should be able to look further into it like, man, damn, what are these Percocets really going to do to these young niggas I'm selling it to? What is this lean really going to do to them? You understand? But we're not going that far. We're not thinking that far into it because we thinking about self-preservation. And if you don't know what self-preservation is, I'm going to give you an example of what self-preservation is. Let's just pretend like, or just say like me and you walking down the street and somebody starts shooting. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get down and make sure, as soon as they let off some shots, and then you know you being shot at, you're going to get down and make sure that you okay before you worry about the person that you with is okay. That's what self-preservation is. You understand? And us being at the bottom, everybody has this self-preservation to where it's not even self-preservation no more. It's just selfishness. You know what I'm saying? So we need to come back to having brotherhood and not say we love God in word, but actually love God by loving our brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's how you really love God. You love God and you prove that you love God by loving your brothers, by loving your sisters. You know what I'm saying? By loving your children, loving your wife, by loving your cousins, by loving your family. You know what I'm saying? No, whereas the Christian church, they want you to love everybody outside of your family. They want you to have brotherhood for everybody outside that you actually related to. You understand? That's why the scriptures always say the house of Israel. Because who stays in the house? A family. You know what I'm saying? We a family. But Christianity teach you to love everybody outside of your family. Well, meanwhile, your family is only people that need love. You know what I'm saying? That is sick, man. That's why people need to come out of these religions. We need to come out of the Christian church. We need to come out of whatever type of religion that you in, you need to come out of, because you got to understand this Bible is not about religion. This Bible is about a nation of people. You know what I'm saying? Just like how America has a constitution, and you know what I'm saying, this Bible is Black, Hispanic, and Native American in its constitution. You know what I'm saying? These are our laws, our statutes, our commandments. This is our brotherhood, our sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? This is how we live. That's why this whole Bible is about living. You understand what I'm saying? That's why all our laws is about living. You can't eat this. You can't do that. You can't sleep with this animal. You can't sleep with I mean, you can't sleep with no animals. You can't sleep with this person if she married. You can't do this. You can't do that. All our laws are about living. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have brotherhood, you're not living, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you are living, you living to be subjected to a whole nother nation like the Christian church teaches. And that's why we got to leave Christianity alone, man, because it's disgusting. You understand? So with that, I'm going to jump. That was 1 John 4:20. I'm going to go to Matthew 25 and 40. We're going to go to Matthew 25 and 40. That's what we got to understand as black people. You know what I'm saying? Because brotherhood is loyalty, man. I know, I know a lot of people, they got loyalty tatted all on their stomach, chest. You know what I'm saying? They say they loyal, but how loyal are you really, though? You know what I'm saying? You can't just be loyal to your gang. You can't just be loyal to your habit of being a drug addict. You can't just be loyal to your lust. Don't want to sleep with whores. You can't be loyal to that. You have to, real loyalty and real brotherhood is being loyal to your people, man. Like almost, I ain't gonna say like how Martin Luther King or Malcolm X tried to do, because they was false prophets. So I'm gonna use General Yohana as an example. He loyal to his people. When there was no truth in this earth, when everybody fell out the truth after '69, you know what I'm saying? And when it was only General Yohana, he slept on floors. He did some stuff. He did things that brothers was not willing to do righteously to build his people up, because he put his life on the line for his people to give us this truth. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that type of loyalty. You gotta have that type of loyalty. You gotta be that type of example. You know what I'm saying? But with that, I'm gonna get Matthew 25 and 40. Because bear with me though. Matthew 25 and 40. Because this Christian church, man, and I always go back to saying the Christian church, because everybody who, even if they say they Christian or they not, nigga, they still Christian, because how they act, the spirit they got, the ideology that they got, you know what I'm saying? They manners, they behavior, they Christians. They Christians, straight up. That's all it's about. You understand that? So that's why I always go back and say, man, Christianity, because if you don't understand the role that Christianity played in black people being destroyed. And if you really understand that role, you will see where I'm coming from. And you will actually see what I'm talking about. Christianity literally destroyed black people. I know y'all hear this all the time, but this is a fact. And it's something that you need to really look into and understand. Because Christianity really destroyed black people. You understand what I'm saying? Like Christians really, like the Christians want black people to forgive their oppressors for slavery. But then, as soon as this pastor go teach on Sunday, he telling you to kick your man out the house because he ain't got no job. Like, you see how sick that is? But they want you to forgive somebody for actually committing atrocities against a whole nation of people. But they want you to kick your man out for not having a job and all that type of stuff. That's why it's crazy, man. And I know a lot of Christians gonna say, man, well, my church don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But your church still teach God love everybody. You know what I'm saying? They ain't teaching that God only love black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians like the ISUPK. They not teaching the truth. You know what I'm saying? Teaching the truth is brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? That's how you show that you love God. You teach the truth. You teach what's true. You don't teach a lie. You teaching God love everybody and we need to forgive and let the past be the past. That is a lie. The Bible don't say that. And that's why it's so disgusting for them to have this book and teach contrary to what this Bible is actually talking about. And it's so disgusting for them to have this book and not know that they the Israelites. And not know that this people is talking about black people in America. That's sick, man. That's sick as hell. It's larky. But let me get up Matthew 25, verse 40. Matthew 25, verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of my brethren, ye have done it unto me. You see how much brotherhood is written in red right here. That's written in red. That's Christ talking. Christ said, hey, look, check it out. If you do it to one of my brothers, you do it to me. I mean, I know so many black people that's like that. It's ridiculous. I know every black person I know that's like that. Like I can even take it to my grandma. If you do something to me, my grandma gonna be like, man, she gonna feel like you did it to her. And guess what? You can't come around. Don't bring that boy over my house no more. Don't do that. And all black people feel like this, and that's how Christ felt. You understand that? And all black people feel like this, and and this is the example of brotherhood, man. So why is the Christian church telling you to forgive your oppressors after they done killed 100 million of you? After they done hung you on trees from city to city? You know what I'm saying? After they kill us literally every day, it's a story popping up where a police involved shooting where they killed the innocent black man without a gun. I'm saying you might kill one out of 100 people, 100 black people that got a gun, but every time they kill a black person, he never has a gun. He's never armed. You know what I'm saying? They shoot him all in his back. Why is your Christian pastor telling you to forgive that? When Christ telling you, if you do that to one of the least in my brethren, you doing it to me. Who is the least of his brethren? Those brothers on drugs that don't know and understand that Christ died for them. Those sisters that prostitute their body to get money that don't know that Christ died for them. You know what I'm saying? Your grandmama who was raised in the Christian church from her mom that eats shrimp, crab, lobster, and pork that don't know that Christ died for her to not do those things. You know what I'm saying? He said, if you do it to the least of my brethren, you do it to me. So why is the Christian church teaching you something different? They're telling you this was done to you, but forgive them for doing that. You understand? That is a sick doctrine. And if you black, Hispanic, Native American, you need to come out of that doctrine. Because this is something, this Bible teaches something totally different. Christ said, if you do it to me, if you do it to my brother and you do it to me, but you know how loyal that is? You know how much brotherhood and what type of spirit and type of behavior you gotta have to be that type of example, bro. That is crazy. That is crazy. But that's why the water Yahweh Shai for General Yohanan for not dropping his sword and teaching all these generals, all these other generals up under him, all these other captains, all these other officers, all these other troopers, all these other sisters how to have that type of brotherhood and be that type of example. You know what I'm saying? Because he got brotherhood just like how Christ had brotherhood. He said, if you do it to, it's like, I know y'all hear a lot of old videos when you watch old ISUPK videos. General Yohanan said, you my brother. I know you, I ain't never seen you before, but guess what? I ain't selling you crack. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because you a black man like me and it's worth something. You know what I'm saying? That's what Christ's saying right here. That's what Christ's saying right here. And that's what type of brotherhood you gotta have. You know what I'm saying? But with that, I'm gonna get John 13 and 34. You know what I'm saying? Because and I'm saying all this because it's a lot of Christians that like I guarantee if it's any churches open right now, I guarantee if you do walk in that church, everybody gonna have on masks, right? Especially if it's a black church, they're gonna have on masks. And guess what's gonna be on the mask in all their shirts? Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter. But how much do Black Lives actually matter though? How much do Black Lives actually matter? You know what I'm saying? Because if Black Lives really matter, you would join the ISUPK and you'll get out that Christian church because you know your Christian pastor is a farce. He is a liar. He is a deceiver. You know what I'm saying? How much do Black Lives really matter? And how long is black people gonna be mad? How long is black people gonna be angry for the condition that they in and what they going through? How long are y'all gonna be mad? Every Sunday? You know what I'm saying? When a Christian, when a pastor trying to make it seem like he care about black lives, that's how long y'all gonna be mad? Man, y'all need to stop. Cut it out. And ISUPK, we mad every day. You know what I'm saying? I can't even watch a show. You know what I'm saying? And they trying to make you sympathize for white people going to jail or prison or anything happening to them without me being mad. You know what I'm saying? Why they ain't making those shows about my people being destroyed? Why they ain't making those shows about dope being in our community and how it really affected us? You know what I'm saying? Why they not putting those shows on our community about how Christianity affected us since slavery? You know what I'm saying? I can't sympathize and care and love no people but my own. You understand? Just like the scriptures say, the house of Israel, I only care about my people only, bro. I only care about the people that's in my house. know what I'm saying? Asians ain't in my house. Chinese ain't in my house. White people ain't in my house. Africans ain't in my house. You know how I know they in my house? You know how I know they're not in my house? Because they don't have families that's on drugs. They're not number one in the prison system. They're not number one in abortions. This is only stuff that's going on in my house. You understand? They flourishing. You go to Nigeria right now, and the Nigerians is rich for selling black people. The Nigerians, is contrary to what they show you on National Geographic and on the news and all that, when you go to Nigeria, them people is millionaires and billionaires for selling black people into slavery. You understand? Like Asians don't get involved in no politics, but guess what? They flourish in America. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand brotherhood. The Jewish people, they understand brotherhood. They don't buy nobody else food. They buy kosher food from their own people. They don't buy nobody else clothes. You understand? They don't teach different doctrines amongst each other like, oh, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Christian, I'm an Israelite. I mean, they don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because they know the strength and actually having brotherhood and being on one accord. And you know what? One time we actually understood that. One time so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, we actually understood how special we was. You know what I'm saying? We understood how holy we was, like it said in Deuteronomy 7:6. We understood that. But just like it say, in the matter of fact, I'm gonna get that. Before I get John 13, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get Jeremiah 17 and 12, I believe. Jeremiah 17:12. We actually understood what it was to be like the Asian community and to be like the Jewish people. You understand? We actually understood that at one point in time. And then we forgot because we discontinued from our heritage. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see. Bear with me. Bear with me. See. Okay. This is Jeremiah 17:4. It say, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. You know what I'm saying? Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians, we discontinue from our heritage. Hey, Slacky, baby. Can you plug this phone to the charger, please? Focus on. You know what I'm saying? We discontinue from our heritage, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't, not only do we not know our nationality, but we don't know our customs. We don't know what type of spirit we're supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how we're supposed to behave. We don't know what laws to keep, what statutes, what judge. We don't know none of these things because we discontinue from our heritage for not having brotherhood. We discontinue from our heritage for wanting to serve other gods. You understand? That and man, that's why it makes me mad. It really makes me mad. I'm gonna read it from the top. It's the charger down here. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. The Lord gave us a heritage. You know what I'm saying? Christianity is not our heritage. That's not our heritage. Loving another nation is not our heritage. Eating shrimp, crab, lobster. I'll plug on this side. Eating shrimp, crab, lobster, pork is not our heritage. You understand, Salaki? Turn it around. Turn it around. Turn it around. Turn it around. The water. Salaki. You know what I'm saying? Eating shrimp, crab, lobster. This is not our heritage, man. Selling dope to pregnant women and selling weed to them, and none of that's our heritage, man. None of that's our heritage. We adopted that type of lifestyle being up under devils. That's how we adopted that type of lifestyle. That was never our type of lifestyle. You understand? But we forgot what it was to flourish like the Jewish community and the Asian community because we discontinued from our heritage for having a lack of brotherhood. You understand what I'm saying? And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage. What do it mean to continue? Continue mean to keep going on. You know what I'm saying? They said we're gonna discontinue. I mean, we're gonna stop. You understand? We're not gonna remember who we was no more. You understand? We're gonna think we everything else but who the Lord made us to be. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said He gonna cause us to serve our enemies in the land that we don't know. Guess what? That land is America. That land that it's talking about is America, man. That land that's talking about, well, we gonna serve our enemies, and then you gotta catch that. It said we gonna serve our enemies in a land that we know not. Why is your Christian church not bringing this out? You know what I'm saying? Why did I let you know that you in a state to where you serving your enemy right now for not loving each other? Why they not letting you know that? You know what I'm saying? Because they discontinue from their heritage too, and they benefiting off you discontinue from your heritage. They benefit off of telling you a lie. That's why. They said we're gonna serve our enemies in a land that we do not know not. That land is America. We serving our enemies right now. You know how I know that we serving our enemies? And I know the first thing to go pop in your mind. Who you talking about? White people? Because you don't care about nobody else. America is a melting pot for every nation. But black people only care about white people. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know that we serving our enemies. Because why don't you care about nobody else? You know what I'm saying? America is the greatest nation on the planet Earth off the back of black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians. But you only care about them. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, they put drugs into your community. You #1 for abortion. You #1 in the prison system. You got cancer, high cholesterol, diabetes. You got everything under the sun being in this kingdom. And it's like, and you still want to love them? They kill you every day in the streets. They hang you on trees from city to city. And you still want to love them? The Christian church is the example of what not to be if you want to have brotherhood. They a great example of what not to be if you want to have brotherhood, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they teach you to hate your people and love the people that murdered you. You understand? That is sick, man. And for them, for brothers in the past being Christian and brothers right now being Christian, we discontinue from our heritage, man. But in ISUPK, the Commanders Junior Hunter, we not discontinue from our heritage. We learned and we mastered how to serve the Lord and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. So the Lord can come back and put all these heathens to death and punish all our people for being wicked. You understand what I'm saying? And pushing this doctrine on people, taking advantage of them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's sick, man. It's sick. And in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. You kindled a fire in the Lord's anger that shall burn forever for wanting to serve these other gods, for wanting to love everybody. You kindled a fire for that, for wanting to celebrate Christmas, for wanting to celebrate Halloween, birthdays, Thanksgiving. You kindling a fire in the Lord because you know why? Because he gave you a heritage. And you discontinue from a heritage, you're going to pick somebody else lifestyle up. You're going to pick somebody else heritage up that's not yours. And that angers the Lord. You got to come back to serving him and stop being soft, weak, and effeminate. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm thankful for General Muhammad, General Yohana, and all these generals and captains and officers before me that taught us how to be real men and not no soft. You know what I'm saying? No soft cowards, man, who ain't ready to go to war, who just disgusted. You know what I'm saying? We got to come back to being men like that, man. You understand what I'm saying? Because we got children that we got to raise up. We got women that we want to raise up. And guess what? We tried everything else. You understand? We tried Christianity. We tried the Muslim mosques. It don't work. It do not work. You know what I'm saying? We come back to serving the Lord, man. Stop being soft. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Salakia. We're going to go to John. We're going to go to John chapter 13 and 34. That's what we're going to do. Because this Christian church, man, they crazy, man. I'm just going to say it like that. They crazy. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to John chapter 13 and 34. And we're going to show you. John chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I loved you. You know what I'm saying? Christ said, this is written in red. This is Christ speaking. He said, this is a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I loved you. But this is what you got to understand. This is not a new commandment. He's saying this is a new commandment because this is a commandment that we're not keeping. This is a commandment that Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians are not keeping. We don't love each other how Christ loved us. You understand what I'm saying? We don't do none of that. We actually hate each other. And in Christianity and these religions is the reasons why we doing it. You not having no guidance and know what God to serve and not knowing your heritage and not knowing who you are as a people is a something that is a benefactor to it. You understand? Is a benefactor to you not having brotherhood. So what did Christ say? I'm gonna read that again. 34, 30, Slakia. A new commandment I give it to you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. I'm saying we gotta love each other how Christ loved us, man. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if you have love one to another. By doing this how you gonna know if you Christ's disciples. You know what I'm saying? Because what Christians, they say they call themselves Christians because they say they followers of Christ, but they don't have brotherhood. They don't love their brothers how Christ loved us. How did Christ love us? He gave his life up. Even though you was on dope, even though you was a prostitute, even though you was a gang member, you know what I'm saying? Even though you was a Christian, he gave his life up for you. You know what I'm saying? All in hopes of, they gonna repent. Hopefully they repent. The ones that do repent, I gave my life for them. Like I said, Christ didn't die for what you do. He died for what you did, man. He died for you, or you ate pork, you stopped eating pork because you found out that's unlawful. You sleeping with brothers' women, you stop doing it because you find out that's unlawful. You selling brothers' mamas drugs, pregnant women drugs, kids drugs, Percocets and Xanax and Zaza and all that. You stop doing it because you found out it was unlawful. He died for that, man. That's the type of brotherhood that you gotta have. You understand? And he gave his life up for that type of brotherhood. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta be willing to put your life on the line for that. For your brothers, man. For the cause. That's what type of brotherhood that you have to have and the example that you have to have and set up, especially if you got women following you and you got kids, and not even that, scratch that. If you got men that's really looking to serve the Lord following you, man, like General Yohana. The men up in ISUPK is men that really was looking to serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? We was men that was really looking to serve the Lord, and the water Yahweh shot that for General Yohana being that example. He was that example. Close that door and be quiet. He was that example, man. And that's what type of example that we have to be, man. And that's the type of example that the ISUPK is every day, no matter what city you in. We that example, no matter what city you go in, we that example. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? We listen to what Christ said to do. What did Christ say? A new commandment I give it to you, that ye love one another. We love one another. You know I know because we're not selling nobody drugs. We're not telling our people, man, forgive the past, the past is the past. God love everybody. We're not teaching that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't teaching, oh man, she bad, or you slept with her, I'm gonna sleep with her next. We don't teach that. You understand? We don't teach that. Oh, even though we all Israelites, even though you teach that you can rape women, we all should come together and have a. We don't teach that. You understand? We don't teach none of that. A new commandment I give it to you, that ye love one another. That's how you know we love one another. As I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men on this planet gonna know. If you listen to this commandment, all men are gonna know that ye are my disciples. Then they're gonna know that you really follow Christ. Not how Christians say, because they say Christian mean to follow the followers of Christ, but they don't listen. They don't observe this commandment that Christ just said. You know what I'm saying? They don't love one another. You know I know because the Christian pastors, they raping. Look at Eddie Long. They raping little boys in the Christian church. They telling you to come as you are. You got homosexuals all in the choir singing, dancing, doing a split. You got people in the parking lot eating pork chops. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know they're not followers of Christ. They don't love each other. Because if they really loved each other, these things would not be allowed. In ISUPK, none of these things are allowed because we actually love one another. You know what I'm saying? You are not allowed to be a whore in here. You are not allowed to be a gang member here. You're not allowed to sell drugs in here. You're not allowed to talk behind somebody's back. You're not allowed to sleep with somebody's woman. You know why? Because we actually love one another. And that's what you got to understand. And that is what the Christian church is missing. know what I'm saying? Why do you think it's 90% of women? There ain't no real men. No real men want to be in there. You know what I'm saying? They know that you can't. It's lies. So that's why you being black, Hispanic, and Native American, you got to come back to serving the Lord. And the only way you can serve the Lord and be a real follower of Christ, like Christians try to say they are, is in the ISUPK and the Commanded General. That's not far-fetched. This is facts. You know what I'm saying? We only have the truth. Period. We only got the truth. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm going to get Matthew 5:22. You know what I'm saying? They telling you to forgive everybody and all that. You know what I'm saying? So what's gonna happen when somebody rent your house with a semi-automatic rifle? You know what I'm saying? They trying to tie your family up and they trying to rob you and take your money and molest your children and women. What you gonna do? Say forgive them in the midst of why they doing that? God gonna get them? Nah, in ISUPK we ain't teaching none of that. Oh, that soft stuff, that old feminine stuff. We ain't teaching none of that. You understand? We gonna protect our family. We gonna protect Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indians in this house. That's what we doing. You know what I'm saying? We ain't waiting on none of that extra stuff y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get Matthew chapter 5:22. Matthew chapter 5 verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they angry at their brother without a cause. You angry at your brother because you liked a woman, but she chose this man instead. You understand? You mad at him for that, so you give him the evil eye. You mad at your brother because, you know what I'm saying, just for whatever the reason is, man. We need to stop being mad at our people without a cause. You know who you should be mad at? The Christian church, your pastor. You know who you should be mad at? You should be mad at the devil that the Bible speaks of for putting you in slavery. You know what I'm saying? Making you number one for everything on this planet. For making you a byword. You should be mad at your oppressor for these things. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be mad at your brother, but that's the thing, like I said earlier, when you only focus on surviving, you know what I'm saying, when you only focus on getting your next meal, paying your bills, working 40 to 60 hours a week, you're not focused on hating and the people that you actually supposed to hate. That hatred that you supposed to hate your enemy with, you gonna hate your brother with that hatred because that's the only one that you're around. You've been out trying to find food for your kids all day, and they got some food over there, so you mad for it. You understand what I'm saying? We need to stop that hatred that we have for being at the bottom and not having a way out and being crabs in the barrel, like they say. We need to direct that energy towards another nation. We need to direct that energy towards the people that hate us. You understand? We need to direct that towards your oppressor, to the white people, to Asians, to Africans. We need to direct that to them. We don't need to direct that energy towards Black, Hispanic, and Americans because guess what? On our words that we love each other, man. But when you try to be like your oppressor and you try to take on the spirit of a Christian and you go to Christian or you go to church every Sunday and you sing, clap, and dance and you try to mimic them, you try to mimic their behavior and mimic their spirit, you gonna end up hating your brother, man. Trust me. You gonna end up hating your brother. There is no such thing as in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing. Now, like Christ said, if you lukewarm, spit you out. It's either you hot or you cold. You understand? We hot over here in ISUPK. You gonna be cold with Christians? What you gonna do, man? Pick a side. Ain't no fence hopping like they say in the streets. If you've been from this gang and this gang, you know what I'm saying? You can't be in the middle. You can't fence hop. You can't be on the fence. You know what I'm saying? Humpty Dumpty fell off the fence. What are you gonna do? You gonna serve the Lord truly, or you gonna be a Christian, man? You understand what I'm saying? Pick before it's too late. Pick before it's too late. Because once this truth come out and you understand this truth, you don't have an excuse. Like everybody else who don't know. You don't have an excuse, man. That's why in the ISPK we say no excuses, no cowards. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not cowards in here. We're not afraid like the Christian church to hate who hate us. You understand? We're not cowards. We're not afraid of that. We don't have an excuse. Christians, they got an excuse to not amplify and exhibit that same hate to the people that hate them. You know what their excuse is? Fear. That's what their excuse is. And that's not gonna work, man. That don't fly back here. You understand? So with that I'm gonna get let me see. That was 5:22. I mean, let me see, was I finished with that Salaki? That is 5:22. Yeah, we can finish with that. I'm gonna go to Luke chapter 6 and 31. Yeah, come. We can go to Luke 6 and 31. Okay. Luke chapter 6, verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. That's what we got to do. If you want men like Christ, this is written in red. This is Christ speaking. He said, if you want men to treat you a certain way, I'm paraphrasing, you treat men a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And like, if you don't want nobody selling your mom crack, don't sell nobody mama crack. If you don't want to get shot, don't shoot nobody. If you don't want nobody burglarizing your house while you're not home, don't burglarize nobody's house. Don't do this to your brothers. If you don't want it done to you or your immediate family, don't do it to your other family. That's all they're saying. I'm gonna read that again. 6 and 31. Luke 6 and 31. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. If you want men to treat you a certain way, because you know black, Hispanic, Native American, we always want to be treated a certain way. You understand? We always want to be treated a certain way. We walk in the store, we don't want nobody looking at us like we stealing something off the rack or we stealing candy. You know what I'm saying? We want to be respected when we walk in that store. You understand? So don't treat your brother like that. Don't see your brother and be like, oh, who's them niggas over there? Hey, bro, hey, lock the door. Let's sit on the street for a second. They might try to rob our house. Don't do your brothers like that. You know what I'm saying? And if you the brother on the other end of that who's trying to rob that house, if you don't want no brother to rob your house, do to men as you want to be done to you. You know what I'm saying? Don't rob nobody's house, man. If you want nobody robbing your mama house, your sister house, your cousin house. This is how you have brotherhood. This is how you establish a nation, man. You can't establish that. That's why Islam fell. That's why Malcolm X was killed. They fell out over little stuff. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X thought that the Nation of Islam was hypocrites, and the Nation of Islam thought he was a hypocrite. So they started feuding with each other. They didn't have that. Muslims don't have laws that you should treat somebody how you want to be treated. They don't have laws about brotherhood. You understand? They don't have that. But in ISUPK, we have laws, man. It's not even our laws. The laws of this Bible. I didn't even say ISUPK. The laws of this Bible, we got laws that you should not do that to somebody that you are literally related to. You understand? You should not do that. Like, we got certain laws here, like you can't sell somebody a dead animal, but you can sell it to another nation. You understand? You can do that, but you can't do that to your people. That's brotherhood. You don't want so people get sick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just say your immediate family, because the only way for you to understand brotherhood, you gotta be speaking about your immediate family. That's how selfish black people is. We don't see black people as family as a whole. We only think about our immediate family, people that actually grew up in our house. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at all of us as brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? That's why the ISUPK is so important, because we look at everybody as brothers and sisters, as black, Hispanic, and Native American. You understand? No matter what type of walk of life they in, no matter what they do, they are our brothers, and that's how we gonna treat them. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because like the scripture just said, I'll read it again. And as you would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. Because brotherhood, man. Because we have brotherhood, and we a great example of brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Just like how General Yohana is. Just like how he was a great example for us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna jump and I'm gonna get John 15 and 12. John 15, 12. We're gonna keep getting. John chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I loved you. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You hear that? Christ said, I'm going to read that from the top because this is heavy. Right, this is for Slakia. John chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another. We supposed to love one another. How you love one another? Not talk behind each other back. Not sell each other drugs. Not sleep with each other women. You know what I'm saying? Not steal from each other, rob each other. That's how you have brotherhood. This is my commandment, that ye love one another. That's how you love one another. As I have loved you. Greater love, you know what I'm saying? Christ said, as I have loved you. You know why Christ saying that? Because Christ didn't do these things to his disciples. Christ didn't rob his disciples. Christ didn't sleep on another his disciples' women. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take what was not his. Christ didn't do these things. That's why he was the great example. You understand? As they have loved you. Greater love have no man than this. Ain't no love greater than this. That you to keep that commandment and love your brothers and your sisters as you love yourself. That a man laid down his life for his friends. And that's what Christ did. Christ laid his life down for his friends. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. If you do what Christ said, like he just said, then you his friends. He said, no greater love than a man have than lay down his life for his friends. And he told you who his friends was. My friends are the people that do what I tell them to do. So that's how you know Christians are not Christ's friends. They don't do what Christ said. They too busy trying to love another nation. They too busy telling you to come as you are. They too busy telling your woman to be pro-abortion, kick your man out the house. They too busy teaching you all these false doctrines that's contrary to what? To your heritage, to your way of life. You understand? That's how you know they're not followers of Christ. But in ISUPK, we followers of Christ. We teach contrary to those things. We teach everything contrary to the Christian church, to the Muslim mosques, to the Imam, to the Jehovah's Witness, the Mormons, Egyptologists, Scientology. We teach contrary to all these different things, man. You know why? Because we had an example. Who was that great example? Christ. What did Christ do? He laid down his life for his friends. Who was his friends? People that the brothers and sisters that listened to him and to what he said to do. You understand? And that's why it ain't enough for us to go to camp every Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Go to these protests. Go to all these meetings. City Hall. It's nothing for us to go to these meetings and these protests and stand at camp on Saturday and tell everybody publicly that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That if you are so-called black, Hispanic, Native American Indian, you are God's chosen people. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing for us to do that and that's us laying our life down. You know why? Because somebody can just come to camp and come there. You know what I'm saying? One of these white supremacists come there and feel like we doing too much and just kill us. You know what I'm saying? But we literally ready to put our life on the line for that. And we ain't gonna say it can never happen because it can happen. You know what I'm saying? When our elders got killed, you know what I'm saying? Our Bibles got killed by Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Kicking Qurans down the street, throwing Qurans, saying Islam is a farce. He got murdered for it. You know what I'm saying? So what makes you think that we can't get murdered for it? Christ did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? He told you that you following behind these other nations is disgusting. It's a farce. It's a lie. This is how you follow God. This is how you show that you love God. Keep these commandments. You understand? And he was killed for it. He was hung on a tree for it. Beat, whipped, spit on for keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? So I don't think this is what we're doing is just easy, man. We put our life on the line like Christ did. We're willing to give our life for it, just like Christ did. And what he say? Ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. Greater love have no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends. We lay our life down for our brothers and sisters, man. That's what y'all gotta understand. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm gonna get Matthew chapter 18 to 21. Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. You know what I'm saying? If there is no law, this is what you gotta understand. If there is no law, there is no brotherhood. If you don't have laws, there's no brotherhood. Like I said, that's how the Malcolm X was killed. That he got into it with Elijah Muhammad, whatever the hell his name is, and they didn't have laws to mediate the problem. They didn't have laws to say that, man, you know what, we should not kill Malcolm X at this next meeting. And we should not do this to this brother. We should not even have laws against that. But in ISUPK, if we have a difference, like for instance, like you got brothers that left the truth. It was just General Yohana at one point in time. Like everybody left. Guess what? When he raised up men, other generals, other captains, other officers, he didn't say, you know what, let's go kill them brothers that started fake Israelite groups. He didn't say that because he got brotherhood and he loved his brothers and sisters, no matter what. You understand? Because we the same nation. That's a great example, man. That's a hell of an example. I'm going to get Matthew chapter 8. I'm going to go to Matthew 18 and 21. It's the last scripture. Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me? Salakia. And then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times? So Peter's asking Christ, trying to be funny, like, man, how many times my brother going to sin against me? You know what I'm saying? Steal some of mine, or talk behind my back, or look at my woman sideways, and I got to forgive him. You know what I'm saying? How many times I got to forgive him? I'm tired of forgiving him. I ain't forgiving no more. That's basically you trying to be funny, right? That's what Christ said. Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. He said, okay, he sinned against you, or you tired of forgiving him? Okay, I say not to you 7 times, because he asked you, like, how many times I gotta forgive him? 7 times? He said, I say not to you 7 times, but seven what did he say? Salakia. But until 70 times 7, meaning that always forgive him, no matter what. Your brother do something wicked against you, always forgive him. You understand? It's like I said, you got brothers who left the school and started something contrary to what they was taught. Guess what? General Yohana forgave him. He forgave them for that. He forgave them for being weak. He forgave them for being tired and leaving. And that's this type of example we gotta have. So it ain't like we hate Christians, because there's a lot of black people, Hispanic and American Indians, Catholics and Christians and all that. We don't hate them, but we hate your doctrine. We hate your way of life. We hate your behavior, man. That's why you gotta come back to serving the Lord righteously. And the only place to serve the Lord is in ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? And with that, man, I'm going to go ahead into class. Shalom, Israel. This Israelite School UPK started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. I'm not the Sub Officer at 500. You know what I'm saying? Tonight is Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Tomorrow is Wednesday night law class. You know what I'm saying? Tune in to ISUPK Sacramento, ISUPK Barrier, or whatever city you're in. Just type it up. It's going to pop up. Shalom.